Hi, this is Saucy J here, back with another Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 11, Episode 3, Recap and Review. Hey guys, sorry I had some tough technical difficulties. So I had meant to put this up earlier, but it didn't work out that way. So anyway, I am back with my review of Episode 3 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you're a returnee, thank you for coming back. If you're new here, welcome. Please make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and make sure to hit the notification button so you can get notified of all my most recent uploads. All right, let's get into it. Let's not delay. Okay, we pick up where we left off last. Kyle, Crystal, and Sutton. How could I forget Sutton's name? Because I don't know. I was kind of like at first with this new season, I was thinking, okay, I think I might end up liking Sutton. I do like what she brings to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She brings the richness. She brings the wealth, the clothes, the jewelry, everything. You know, she definitely doesn't look like she's hurting for money. So anyway, we're picking up. The ladies are in the kitchen, just kind of chilling out after they had been out earlier that day and dinner and all that stuff. And Kyle had requested one of Crystal's martinis, or because I guess Crystal makes a very good martini. And Crystal was, or might have been a margarita. Crystal was, you know, ecstatic, like, oh my God, you know, you like my drinks. So they're drinking. So Sutton stays back with the girls and they talk, and Sutton, I don't know, I forget who brought it up, but Sutton and Kyle were talking about Kyle's lunch with Garcelle and how that went. So Kyle was bringing up how Garcelle pointed out that there's a stereotype that Black people don't pay their bills, don't pay rent, don't tip, and all this other stuff. So when Kyle busted Garcelle for not paying the $5,000 donation to Kyle's charity on nationwide TV, it was not a good thing to do. And, you know, because of the stereotypes, you know, even though Kyle was right to, you know, like, that could happen with anyone. It's like, you know, like how Kenya busted out Nene for not paying to the charity. So, you know, it is what it is. She didn't pay. But unbeknownst to Kyle, Black people are saddled with these stereotypes of not paying stuff. So Garcelle is like, you know, it could look bad. So Kyle was trying to explain that stereotype, how she didn't know and how it really didn't matter to her. You know, she would have did it to somebody that's white, because that was the big thing. You know, Garcelle asked Kyle, you know, would you have done that to one of the white co-stars, or, you know, a white woman? So, you know, Kyle was nonplussed. She was like, what? Like, really? Like, are you trying to break a brace here or whatever? So Crystal starts explaining, you know, she gets it like, oh, okay, that's what happened. Well, stereotypes are horrible. And, you know, she was getting ready to say some stereotypes, what Asian people go through, what Asian women go through. Sutton shut it down. She cut it off. She's like, oh no, we're not going to have this conversation. And Crystal's like, wait a minute, I haven't even said anything. You know, can I at least say what I'm going to say? And Sutton is like, no, I don't want to bring race up into these issues. Race is worse than COVID-19. Okay. You know, I don't know how the two compare. But anyway, Sutton, so she pretty much cuts Crystal off. And then Crystal became my new favorite housewife. I'm loving Crystal. Okay. Crystal said an iconic line. She goes, please tell me you are not that girl. You know, let me get it straight. What did she say exactly? Because I wanted to. Oh yeah, here it is. Please tell me you are that girl that does not see color. You know, man, I'm like, oh my God, this Crystal, like, where has she been? She should have been on like Beverly Hills a long time ago. I'm loving her honesty. I'm loving her point of view. I'm glad that they have more than one. I hate to use this term. It's really popular now. I should say term, not turn. The people of color. I hate that terminology, but it's so true right here because they have a black woman and an Asian woman. And I'm so glad because normally it might be a token black woman, or like they had before with Joyce. She was Puerto Rican. She didn't last too long. Even though I love Joyce, I felt they should have kept her. She truly was a housewife. She truly, I think, was a Beverly Hills housewife. Her husband had a lot of money, you know, and when Joyce was on, I think she was, and I think Lisa bullied her, Lisa Vanderkamp, which was amazing. I couldn't believe how Lisa was acting towards her. I thought they would have hit it off. But anyway, we're going to stick with season 11, episode 3. So Crystal is hitting hard. She's coming out the gate, and I'm liking Crystal. And you know, Crystal's basically like me, you know, what do you mean you don't see color? You know, I don't see race. Okay. And she was like, Crystal's like, well, I see color. And I'm like, oh, you know, yeah. You know, like my thing is when people have said that to me, it's like, I hate that. It's like, how do you stop for a red light? You see color. That's the only way you're going to be able to stop, right? Because I don't want to be around you when you're driving because you say you don't see color. So now you want to say you don't see race. Yes, you do. And it's okay. It's okay. And so Sutton gets really upset by this conversation. She starts crying. And why she's crying, I don't know. Crystal wasn't attacking her. They were just having what I think all people should have nowadays, open and honest discussions about race, about stereotypes, and what has happened to people in this country and continues to happen, because that's the only way we're going to be able to overcome stereotypes. When you get to know people, when you don't automatically assume that every person of whatever particular group is going to act a certain way. So I was happy for the conversation. Sutton wasn't. Sutton got, you know, real upset. Kyle, I think she's just loving this. She gets to sit back, but she's a part of the action. So nothing's really focused on her personal or private life. So, but she gets to be in the scene. So she's playing like the mediator, and she's like, well, I see your point of view. You're saying that, you know, basically you're not racist, and, you know, she might not have said it verbatim like that, but she's just trying to like Crystal know that even though she does say that stupid line of I don't see color, that doesn't mean she doesn't see Crystal as a Asian woman. But she's just basically saying, you know, she's not racist. So Kyle is saying, trying to tell Sutton, you guys are both saying the same thing, but your wording may be wrong. And so Sutton is not having it. So Crystal feels completely shut down. You can see her kind of shut down. So she's saying, you know what? Let's agree to disagree. And so Sutton is like, what does that mean? And Kyle's like, look, you know, I think that's when she says, you know, you guys are really saying the same thing, but you're using the wrong terminology. So next, you know, we go to, so they leave the kitchen or whatever. Then we see Kathy Hilton get up and she goes into Sutton's room with all these pillows and, you know, to hang out a bit. Then she ended up in Kyle's room and actually sleeps with Kyle, but she doesn't really sleep. She stays up all night reading papers, drinking Red Bull, and eating chips and stuff in the bed. So I know for Kyle that's got to be great, especially when you roll around the next day on those crumbs, because unfortunately I like to, you know, eat snacks in the bed and you pay for it. So as it turns out, Kathy stays up all night, so she's going to miss their excursion the next day. So we're at the next day now. The girls are getting ready to go, like, on this railway ride thing or whatever. But before they go, they have this beautiful breakfast. It looks like the chef is a African-American. The food looks great, so they're all eating the food because, you know, Kyle basically starved them when she messed up the salmon. Nobody really had anything to eat. So everybody's eating, and the food looks very good. So I think everybody goes, but they start talking about the election. I thought Garcelle was going to stay behind and watch the news, but she did end up going with them on the excursion. Excuse me. But before they go out, they all, they had breakfast. They got dressed. They were in fabulous fashions. Crystal and Sutton try to hash it out again. So Sutton goes to, I believe it's Crystal's room, and Crystal's room looks fantastic. This place, it's called the Sherman Estate, and I think it was also featured in the last 2 episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. This estate is beautiful. Like, once again, it's a 17-bedroom estate that spans 17,000 square feet. It's so Crystal's bedroom like sits on the side, like there's like a cliff. Like, she can walk out, and they got the Adirondack chairs, and it's just, you just walk right out into nature, and it's really beautiful. So the women are sitting out there, and they're discussing like what happened. They're still trying to get to Sutton is trying to let Crystal know that, I'm not a racist, and when I say I don't see color, I really don't see color. I accept everyone. And so she opens up about her upbringing. Her mother, I think, was a psychologist or psychiatrist. Her father committed suicide. He had a lot of issues. Crystal opens up about her father, about how they had their own racist experience. Her dad was getting gas somewhere, and a man drove up alongside them and started yelling at her father that they needed to go back to their country. And it was very violent, but nothing physical happened. It was just the tone, the tonality of the person that was yelling at her father while he was getting gas. So it upset Crystal's father so that he just hurry up, finished what he was doing, got in the car, drove off. And he didn't even discuss with Crystal what happened. And, so Crystal said they never talked about it, but she saw the fear in her father's eyes, and it just stuck with her the whole time. So she's trying to let Sutton know that, yes, racism exists, it's out there, and instead of running from it, excuse me, I'm in between 2 hospitals and a firehouse and a police station. So sometimes, we get that noise. All right. I think they finally made it past. So, okay. So, so they are sharing their experiences, what they've gone through in life. And so I thought that was good, because conversations like that, then you know where people are coming from and what they are dealing with. So the girls go on their trip, and I think I have it queued up here. Let me see.
Well, I don't know quite why I reacted. You see, I don't see. It wasn't very nice.
Yeah. So Sutton apologized for that statement, and she realized that saying that she doesn't see color wasn't nice, but that was not her intent to offend Crystal at all. She just she wants to treat everybody equally, which is nice, it's noble, but we do in this country have to have real conversations about race in order to get past it. So let me see if I can get up to that scene where they are because I want to say the name of the place, so I might not know the name. Sorry guys, I thought I had written it down. But they go to this place where they are gonna ride like these railway cars. They self pedal these railway cars, but on the way there, Erica points out I think it's Gardnerville, California. No, Gardnerville, it's not California because they're at Lake Tahoe. Gardnerville, Nevada, where a lot of, did she not criminals, let me see. Yeah, this is the place where the most fugitives live in America. Gardnerville, Nevada. So go figure. So we know what's getting ready to come up with Erica and her husband. So, it's like, why would she know that fact? Like, is she planning on running away because her and her husband are going through it? I don't know if I talked about it before. Erica's husband, Tom Girardi, is a famous attorney. Actually, he was supposed to be a very good attorney, a renowned attorney, and he was one of the attorneys that worked on the airline flight that crashed. I think it was the one in Ethiopia, where the plane went up and then it just suddenly dropped, and they tried to blame it on the Ethiopian pilot, but as it turns out, it was a mechanical failure that killed these people. There may have been a few survivors. Anyway, supposedly he embezzled all this money from that crash, as well as some other like high-end accidents, or very so instead of paying the clients, he was messing around with the money. So she's going through a lot. And or maybe it's because one time she wore a wire in a mafia case, so maybe she knows some mafia guys that have absconded to Gardnerville, Nevada. So that was a fun fact. I thought I should point that out because we're going to see in the next episodes what's really been going on with Erica that she managed to hide, as well as I think other girls, the other women are also hiding stuff too, by hanging on. Like, they beat up on Denise Richards so bad last year, it was just horrible. And then you find out Erica's going through this, and she's going to file divorce from her husband. That is something we would have liked to know, other than to keep beating Lisa Vanderpump in the head about that stupid dog. But anyway, so the girls go to the this place, and they ride they have to pedal on these railroad cars down this mountainside. It looks like it's fun. And then they get back in the car and they go back to the Sherman estate. Because, it was an excursion. They had fun. And we're going to keep it moving. So, the girls get dressed up to get ready to go out to this really, really nice restaurant. But before they do, it turns out that Kathy put eardrops into her eyes instead of eye drops. So her eyes are irritated. And then the girls are hanging around and, in lieu of going to dinner, because then there's another part I want to point out before we get to the part where they go to the dinner, is that Sutton is wearing these $2,000 house shoes. I'm like, $2,000 house shoes? Oh my God, I want a pair. I looked them up. I had to hold myself. $2,000 house shoes. They probably feel like a dream. They're not, they look like big fur blobs on the feet, but $2,000 house shoes? Oh my God. And we like to see stuff like that. I want to see all the rich stuff. And so while they're chilling after they had came back from the excursion on the mountainside, Garcelle talks about how she used to see Paris Hilton out, and she saw her at parties and stuff like that, and she noticed that Paris Hilton, who is the daughter of Kathy Hilton and the niece of Kyle Richards, and what is Mauricio's last name? I can't think of it right now. Umansky, I think it is. She was telling, I would see Paris out all the time, and she seemed so aloof, standoffish. She was always on her phone. She never wanted to engage people. And Kyle and Kathy was looking at Garcelle like, what? I know you're not talking about, And I was just cracking up because Garcelle has a way about her. And I think she's Haitian, and she's actually a Haitian immigrant. She wasn't born in America. And she has a different way. It's like in your face. And the way she was saying it, I was like, is she for real? Because even I would have been like slightly offended at the way she was asking them about about Paris. And so they were like, wait a minute, where are you going with this? So then Kathy tells Kyle, you want to tell her why Paris does that? And she's like, Kyle's like, you know, Paris is very shy. She has a lot of anxiety issues. She doesn't like to be in public a lot, but she goes out. She just doesn't know how to interact with people. So instead of engaging with people, she will pull out her cell phone and pretend that she's on her phone, when really she's not ignoring you because she don't like you. It's because she's, you know, she's shy and has a lot of anxiety issues. And I can feel where Paris is coming from. I'm a very shy person, and sometimes I rather just like not engage and do the same thing. But people always accuse me of being, you know, stuck up or snob or something. And it's like, no, I'm a bundle of nerves on the inside. But once you get to know me, I'm a nice person. But yeah, so I thought that was cute, and I love the way. So Garcelle was like, oh my God, I didn't know that's why she was like that. Oh wow, that explains it. And so everybody takes a deep breath and release, because I think they was getting ready to kick Garcelle's behind on that one. It was just so funny how to move. Like Kathy came out of that. She's been playing like she's just this ditzy person, and she came out of that when when Garcelle was talking about Paris. She was like, now look, I'm tolerating you, you know, because really I can take you or leave you, Garcelle. So then they, once again, Garcelle and Renna are punctual as usual when they're getting ready to go into town for dinner. So Garcelle and Renna are like in the dining area, you know, waiting for everybody to come down to go to so they can go to the restaurant. And they're making very awkward, small conversation because, you know, Garcelle is like, look, you told me how you are. I'm not talking to you, really. I'm going to be civil. I'm going to be cordial, but we're not going to have no heart-to-hearts because I can't trust that you won't repeat it. So it's really funny. And I hope Garcelle stays on the show along with Lisa Rinna, because I want it to be like Crystal Carrington and what was my girl Diane. I said I was going to get the names right. It was like, I know it was like Deverell was her last name. And it was like Crystal. I will find the black woman's name, and that would always go up against the other actress on, was it Dynasty? Yes, Dynasty. That's how I want it to be between Garcelle and, if anybody knows, please put it in the comments. But by the next episode, I will find out what I'm trying to say, because I love how Garcelle is interacting with Kyle, with Lisa Rinna, especially as they are all actresses. They've been in the Hollywood game and the Hollywood scene, so we get some gossip, some nuggets like that. So I hope Garcelle stays on. I heard somebody say that she's not going to return next season. I hope that's not true. But anyway, so they go to and before we get to that, Lisa Rinna is talking about she is going to, she's putting out a lip line. And like, leave it to her to put out a lip line during COVID, during the pandemic, when everybody's wearing masks, you know. And so nobody's going to buy the lipstick because we're all wearing masks. But now that the show has come out, and the COVID restrictions are being lifted everywhere, her lip line would do well. And she should, Lisa Rinna, if you don't watch the show, Lisa Rinna, she used to do like stories, like when I say stories, like soap operas. I'm trying to remember what shows was Lisa Rinna on. I just know her from commercials and stuff, and being married to Harry Hamlin, and the woman who put so many lip injections in her lips that she ruined her lips and her face. She was very attractive anyway, and I think her lips were fine, but she overdid it. And when she put in, when she got her lip fillers, they were using collagen, which was would turn into rocks inside the lips, and they're permanent. So she had to undergo surgery to get a lot of that removed. But for the most part, she was not going to lose those oversized lips that, look crazy. But now, this last surgeon who corrected it, I think he did a good job. Her lips look better. They're still huge. So anyway, she came up with a lip line, and I think that's a smart business move. So, might look into that. And she didn't say if it was going to be, I don't know, is she with QVC or HSN? But I think she's going to do it on her own website. So it's called Rena. I think it's Rena lip line. So anyway, the women make it to the restaurant. The restaurant is beautiful, of course. I don't know, whenever I heard about Lake Tahoe, I just thought it would be kind of like a boring place to go, but it looks like it's a very beautiful place. That place is beautiful. Lake Tahoe is beautiful, like they said. It seems like a very nice resort area. So anyway, they go to the restaurant, and they're having dinner and drinks, and Kathy, as it turns out, she likes to play pranks. So she orders a martini, I think, is it a straight martini with 3 olives, and which is like, I guess, mainly vodka. And so she downs it, she gulps it down, and then but she lets the server know that she's going to play a prank on the girls, and she got a glass of water in a martini glass with 3 olives, and she's just, chugging them back. So everybody's thinking like, oh my gosh, she's, Billy Badass is like, wow, she can down like martini, like dry martinis, like, oh my God. So she starts challenging the girls to do it. So at first they didn't know. That's what I saw. So she challenges Dorit and who was the other one? So Dorit does it, and she drinks it down in one go. So now Erica's looking at her like, girl, oh my God, you're the bomb, no problems, right? So then they get Rena to do it. But in the meantime, some kind of way, I think it was Crystal figured out that Kathy really wasn't drinking martinis, she was drinking water. So Dorit texts Lisa Rinna, and then Lisa Rinna texts Erica. And so they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to get on in it too. So they, they were able to tell the server without Kathy figuring it out that they want what she's having, which is water and 3 olives. So they're down in their back like they're drinking the strong drink too. And so everybody's laughing because now everybody's kind of figuring out that the prankster is getting pranked. The only one that wasn't in on it was Sutton, and she's getting visibly upset that she's seeing them reading text and she's not on the text thing. So they leave and they get into the van, the 2 vans that head back. So Sutton is on the van, like pissed, like, what were they texting each other? Like, blah, 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 just going on. So Crystal, like, kicks her, like, hey, like, no, don't say anything. But Sutton, stuck up ass, I'm sorry, I can't stand Sutton at this point. She is like, stop kicking me, and it's like, girl, come on, you've never been on a girls trip, you've never been out with people and somebody like taps you on the leg or kicks you under the table, like, stop, don't do anything, don't do anything. And so Crystal's like, I'll tell you later. But Sutton wasn't having it. She was still like, why are you kicking me, and blah, blah, blah. So they make it back to the house. Sutton is upset. Garcelle is trying to figure out what's going on. And Sutton is thinking the girls were texting about her, were talking about her. So Garcelle is like, wait a minute, no. And so she goes to Kyle, like, were you guys like, and Dorit, were you guys talking about Sutton? And they're like, no, we weren't talking about Sutton at all. So Sutton was like to Garcelle, why did you do that? I didn't need you to do that. Blah, blah, blah. It's, I love it. All the mess. So finally, the girls sit down and they let Sutton know what went down. That the girls had figured out that Kathy was trying to prank them, and so they were trying to prank her back. Like, yeah, we got it, So Sutton was like, but nobody texted me, nobody let me know. And they were like, well, no, we weren't leaving you out because, we were mad at you or being mean towards you. We just didn't get around to telling you. So anyway, Sutton took it the wrong way. She was upset, and then she was like, Crystal, and Crystal kicked me, and Crystal was like, oh my God, I didn't kick you like that. You know, I'm like nudging you, like, but she was trying to make it like it was a violent attack on her person. So anyway, Crystal and Sutton go at it again. Crystal decides to leave because she can't take Sutton no more. She's doing what I would do, which is call a good girlfriend and be like, girl, I'm on this trip with this nut. And, you know, she keeps gunning for me. And, you know, oh my God, she's crazy. So unbeknownst to Crystal, Sutton decides to take Crystal her coat. She, you know, like to show I'm such a good girlfriend. I'm gonna take her coat because she left it in the living room. Now, why was that such a big deal? They're all in the house together. Where was the coat gonna go? And I knew she was going to do what she did before she did it. I don't know why I do this. I try not to make these videos this long, and I want to get to the good points with you guys so you can get my points of view. But anyway, it's into the 30-minute mark territory. So one of these days, I hope I can make them shorter. So anyway, she goes knocking on Crystal's door, and instead of waiting for Crystal to say, come in, she goes right in with the coat. Crystal's in her room walking around naked. You know, she got undressed. She's, you know, relaxed. She didn't lock the door. I don't know if I would have locked the door, but I think if I was walking around naked, maybe. I don't know. But she's walking around naked in the room on the phone, chewing, you know, just talking about Sutton like a dog. And Sutton knocks on the door talking about she want to give her this coat. And we find out later that Crystal fell to the floor, but what we heard was that, what did Sutton say? Oh, I don't know what's going on here, but here's your coat. What the hell you mean? You know, what's going on here? So anyway, that's where it ends, and it's like Sutton and Crystal, I don't think they're ever going to get along. But I'm loving the Beverly Hills this season. It's never a dull moment. Hope you guys continue to watch it and watch me. I hope you enjoyed this review and recap. And it's on to the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye. Oh, before I go, please, once again, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Make sure to hit the notification button so you can get all my new content. And also share the video as well. Expose other people to it. Maybe they might want to subscribe. Thank you for stopping by. Bye.